The day they fired me, the world cracked open. In the glass conference room, the CEO slammed a folder and declared, "Your data fraud claims are baseless, Mr. Hale. You're paranoid and you're out." My mother's voice echoed from years ago. "You'll amount to nothing, Jacob. You're a disgrace." In that instant my dignity fell, but a fire ignited. I walked out with a cardboard box, my textbooks, and a battered laptop, the only things that still believed in me. I left the city, drove to the desolate valley where my ancestors once roamed, a place the world called a barren wasteland. My family's house loomed ahead, its porch swing creaking in the wind, a reminder of the ridicule I'd faced since childhood. "You'll never make a living painting those silly pictures," my brother jeered, "and that cryptic nonsense you study. It's a joke, Jacob. You're an embarrassment." Their words cut like knives, but they sparked a resolve. I packed my determination, left the familiar streets, and headed toward the empty fields that would become my laboratory. Night after night, I studied ancient tablets, tracing water management symbols that whispered of sustainable cycles. I built a makeshift lab from salvaged solar panels, copper wire, and a second-hand computer, turning those age-old patterns into algorithms that predicted soil moisture with uncanny accuracy. Each sunrise brought a new test. I planted seedlings in cracked earth, monitored them with sensors I coded, and watched as the data guided irrigation that revived the land. The first green shoot emerged after weeks of effort, proving that ancient wisdom fused with modern encryption could coax life from death. Skeptics called my work archaic quackery, yet I persisted, driven by my mother's warning and my brother's jeering laugh. I posted my findings online, attracted a few engineers, secured a modest grant, and expanded experiments across the valley. Slowly the barren landscape turned green, and my reputation, once tarnished, rebuilt on solid evidence. 3 years later, a major tech conglomerate licensed my system, EchoGuard, which merged cryptographic security with ancient irrigation codes to protect data and optimize water use worldwide. Governments, NGOs, and farms adopted the platform, delivering clean water to drought-stricken regions and safeguarding privacy on a global scale. My name reappeared on journal covers, and the colleagues who once dismissed me now sought my counsel. The world recognized that the ridiculous dream had become a revolutionary force, vindicating my truth and purpose. 3 years after my breakthrough, I returned to the valley that had once been my refuge. The house at the end of the lane, once a crumbling relic, now glowed with solar panels and holographic displays of thriving fields. I invited my family to the unveiling of the restored land, where drones released water guided by the ancient code I had cracked, turning parched soil into fertile rows of corn, beans, and squash. Holographic screens showed real-time encryption keys, proving that the same technology protecting global data also secured each farmer's harvest. The moment was electric. My mother's eyes widened as the first drone released a cascade of water onto dry ground, and the earth darkened and sprouted instantly. My brother, who had mocked my dreams, stared in stunned silence as rows of corn unfurled under the sun. My father, his hands once calloused from futile labor, placed a trembling hand on the console and whispered, "Jacob, you turned our shame into salvation." The crowd cheered, but the loudest applause came from the very people who had once been my harshest critics. As the sun set over the revived fields, a deep peace settled within me. The betrayal that once threatened to break me became the catalyst for my greatest triumph. I had taken the sting of dismissal, the scorn of my own blood, and transformed it into a legacy that would nourish generations. Their derision taught me that the loudest voices fear change, and that perseverance paired with purpose can rewrite destiny. The once barren land now thrives because I listened to ancient whispers and married them with modern safeguards. In this moment, I realized that karma is the echo of our choices, and by refusing to let humiliation define me, I rewrote my story and gave my family a chance to see the true value of belief.